right, everybody, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Welcome to the campus of Hannibal LaGrange University. Todd's already kind of spoiled this, but this is our third PhD in the hot seat. Yeah, number 3, yay. I'm still having to seek medical attention for the previous 2, so really excited about this third one. Tonight we have with us Dr. Joseph Garner. Registrar, Assistant Professor of Christian Studies and History. I could probably go on, but I'm trying to keep this under an hour. And the lucky contestant of these festivities. Can he handle the heat and the questions, or will he tap out forever and hear about his cold temperament of a palate?
That's true.
He, in fact, will not do that. I may tap out, but he will probably be fine. My name is Tad Wingo. I know my name, so I shouldn't have to read this card. I'm the Vice President of Enrollment Management and Marketing, along with Student Life. Appreciate the shouts in the back. And I get to be tonight's interviewer, so I know you're all jealous, but I get to have all this fun. My nose is already on fire from the sauce. Man. We both get to enjoy the wings. But Dr. Garner is the one that is in the hot seat and gets the sizzling questions. What are we going to learn about you tonight, Joe?
I don't know how I was selected for this. It's hard to imagine the most boring person on campus more than myself.
That's what I said.
You literally asked the registrar and the history professor up here. I'm not sure if y'all thought this through.
Literally what I said. This was Todd's idea. I don't know.
It's bad staff work.
All right, so welcome to the hot seat, Joe.
Well, before you get started.
Oh, come on.
Before you get started, I have a gift for you. Okay, so this is actually you and Todd got to divvy this up probably because he worked a lot harder than you did, but you're the one that's here. So a little gift for you guys: chocolate chip cookies, gift giving, and morbid obesity are just a few things Santa Claus and I share. So I thought y'all would maybe enjoy some of that.
This is some slap your mama Cajun seasoning.
Slap your mama's good stuff.
So there we go.
Now the one there on the end, I find that really useful for eye drops. Like when your eyes get a little, winter's coming up, it's going to start drying out. Use those little eye drops. It really helps out, some things.
I already hate tonight. So, all right, let me just put this up, pretend like that didn't happen. Put that over there. All right, Joe. So for those of us here that know you, obviously, we just think the world of you. But give us a quick 30-second, just who is Dr. Joseph Garner, for the fine people who might be visiting campus and don't know you?
Yeah, so again, name's Joe Garner. Moved here to HLG in Hannibal about 3 years ago from Lafayette, Louisiana, and grew up in Louisiana. Been there the bulk of my life. And married to Rebecca. We've been married over 20 years, 20-something, pretty sure. 22, 23?
That's already getting off on the wrong foot tonight, so...
It's been a while. A little over 20 years. I'm pretty sure of this number, we have 5 kids. That's right, okay. Got that one right. So 3 boys, 2 girls, and a dog named Willow. She wasn't allowed to come tonight, much to my chagrin. And so teach history here at HLG, also teaching Christian studies, and I'm the registrar. So if any of you need to know what your grades are, you can ask somebody else. I'm not allowed to give out that kind of information.
There you go.
Not at least not for free. So.
All right. So, man, it's been so long. I guess we do the wings first before we ask the question. I was afraid of that. All right, Joe.
So we use the wing. So wing, then talk.
Wing,
That's
going
to be tricky.
All right. So
what's first up to bat?
We like to let everybody know what we are nibbling on. So this is Hot Ones garlic Fresno. I almost said Fresco. I'm from Tennessee. I struggle sometimes with reading. Garlic Fresno to get us started. This says it's a heat level of 2 out of 10. So
Fresno is in like Fresno, California. So not worried, basically.
All right, Joe.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Enjoy, my friend.
Yeah, it's just kind of liquid garlic.
We sure we didn't do these in the wrong order, man?
There's kind of a little flavor to it. I'll give it that. But it's
good
mostly garlic.
night. If that's number 1, it's going to be a terrible evening. Ooh, all right. Well, Joe, to begin this spicy journey, we figured it's best to start out on the easy note. So
Okay.
as we do every time, There's some questions that just require a quick answer. So what is your favorite TV show?
Let's see. So that's actually harder than.
Oh my goodness. It's like Dr. Matt's. I mean, this is
So
the
which
hardest
genre?
one.
No. Probably the show that I've seen the most is probably The West Wing. I mean, Rebecca and I watched, all 7 seasons multiple times, mostly with Chinese food. She was doing important things like feeding children. I was watching TV, but she was sitting next to me, and so that's what matters. But yeah, West Wing is probably the one I've seen the most.
Favorite movie?
So it's probably a tie between. So the Lord of the Rings trilogy counts as one movie. It's a coherent unit. Lord of the Rings movie, and then Master and Commander, which amazing, like Russell Crowe at his peak, a bunch of ships, naval warfare, French people are getting blown up. It's great.
We don't need the whole movie. I just need the name, Joe. Favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant, like here in Hamble?
I didn't like the question, Joe. Just what's your favorite restaurant, man?
So probably, it's not really a restaurant, it's really more of a lifestyle, and that's probably going to be the Waffle House. So, yeah. I love the Waffle House.
Has anybody here never eaten at the Waffle House? Oh, you poor
Pagans, reprobates.
Just for the record, if you go to the Waffle House anytime around midnight, you will usually get dinner and a show. It is phenomenal, man. It is phenomenal.
Listen, one of the times I've been legitimately afraid of my life was in a Waffle House in North Arkansas. It was special.
There you go. There you go. All right, what's your favorite book?
The Bible, no. The Bible, yes. But beyond that, probably, I would say The Hobbit. The Hobbit's probably the book that got me started reading, gave me a love for literature. I wasn't much of a reader when I was a younger kid, and I was stuck at my grandmother's house one summer with not really much to do. I grabbed a book off a shelf, happened to be The Hobbit, started reading it, read it in one day, and I've never been not reading since.
Okay.
So,
it's a great book. Love The Hobbit. What's your favorite kid?
Oh, that's easy.
Which one's your favorite?
Willow. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
That's my dog, by the way, just in case.
What's your favorite vegetable?
That's kind of like saying, what's my favorite squared circle? That doesn't really exist.
Fair enough.
So,
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No. That's pineapple on pizza is the abomination of desolation. It's one of the signs of a decaying moral order. And so,
I don't even know what a lot of those words meant, but we're gonna go with no. Celebrity crush growing up, Joe.
Ooh, let's see. Real or animated?
Cut the feed. Technical difficulties.
I watched a lot of cartoons when I was a kid.
Tell us both, Joe. I like where this is going.
So on Nickelodeon, there was this show, Clarissa Explains It All, so Melissa Joan Hart. I did not just watch that for the plot. And then, let's see. Well, I was a kid, right? So yeah, we'll go with that.
Let's talk about this cartoon that you had to crush on. I mean, what?
So let's see. I'm trying to think.
Bugs Bunny dressed
So
up like a girl?
everybody. So again, I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but you're a little bit almost my age. And so you grew up watching He-Man,
Yeah.
right? So Tila or Evelyn?
I'm not even going down that road.
Okay.
All right, let's move along. Favorite college team?
Georgia Bulldogs, and that's not just because they've won a few national championships. Like my family is originally from Georgia. We were actually in Georgia for like 200 years before my dad moved to Louisiana. So
Joe was an Alabama fan before Georgia.
now no one's ever actually attended the University of Georgia in my family, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe. You made it through that pretty. Well, it got a little weird. there for a
Well,
minute, but
we've literally just gotten started.
yeah,
It can get weirder.
That first one was really hot. I'm not gonna lie. That is not a good omen for tonight. All right, let's go to number 2. This is a little double comfort scene, double hot sauce. 100% of these profits do go to hunger relief charities. So buy this at home.
Now, what's it called again?
It is double comfort scene, double hot sauce.
That means nothing. I'm not sure what that means.
Double hot sauce. I don't know. It's just gonna be bad.
Okay.
All right, Joe.
All right. So number 2 here. This has a green It looks healthy because it's green, so I'm already suspicious. All right, we're gonna go from this side. Let's see, the last one was hotter than this one.
Much. Oh, that one's plenty hot. All right.
It's not bad.
Lick it off your fingers. There you go. All right. All right. As you can see, Joe's from Louisiana. There is zero chance hot stuff is going to affect a Cajun, so let's just be honest. So y'all can enjoy watching me sweat and cry over here. All right, Joe.
But that's normal. That's not, even if there were hot wings involved.
All right, Joe, would you consider yourself a troublemaker or someone who plays by the rules?
Probably somebody who plays by the rules generally.
Did you ever play hooky growing up?
Yeah, pretty much my entire junior year of high school.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I wasn't really a big fan of being in class, especially when I was able to do pretty well, not actually showing up. So
What kids say about your class?
Well, that's fair. And so I just kind of didn't go most of the junior year. So, yeah.
You do anything fun while you were playing hooky? I mean,
I'm
just
trying to
stay at home and
remember.
watch He-Man.
Mostly stay at watch He-Man.
Okay.
Did you ever get caught?
You ever get what? Yeah, I did get caught, no doubt about it, yeah. So a friend of mine, we went over to my house. My parents were supposed to be gone. And so my friend, he had the parents that didn't care. I had the parents that extremely cared. But, being genius, 16-year-olds, my parents were, we'll go over to my house, no problem. So my dad was supposed to be gone. My dad was supposed to be at work, mom was gone all day. So I go to my house, playing video games, and I hear a truck pull in the driveway. And so again, espionage is certainly my spiritual gift. I literally parked across the street thinking, that'll fool them, right? And hear a truck pull in, look out, and sure enough, my dad walks in. He hadn't gone to work. He was just at an eye doctor appointment. And so, I thought like hiding in the closet, yes, that'll work. And so here in the closet, but eventually just, I figured like at some point he's going to hear the sound of my heart beating. And so I step out and fess up and had my car taken away. I got to ride the bus for the rest of the year. It was
What
tons
kind
of
of car did you
fun.
have?
It was very sweet. I had a 1982 Mazda 626.
Wow.
Very, very bright white. And so when I got it at 16, I guess it would have been like 96, 97, something like that. It only had like 15,000 miles on it because it was my Nana's car. And she literally only drove it to get her hair done and to go to the grocery store. And so I got her car, and that was one of the ugliest vehicles I've ever seen, but I loved it with a passion.
Hey,
It was
everybody
good.
loves their first car no matter what.
Yep.
So, all right. Let's go for number 3.
That was quick.
Yeah, listen, that's a quick story. They'll get better. They'll get longer. All right, I don't even know. There you
Now,
go.
what's this one?
You're fancy. You read that, Joe.
Fermented kimchi. There you go. A little South Korean specialty. But it's handcrafted in Montreal.
It's almost the same thing.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, fermented kimchi. So, all right, see how it is.
Now, you got to smell it first. Kimchi is a very particular aroma. Have you ever had kimchi before?
I don't believe I have.
Yeah, kimchi is fermented cabbage. So literally like rotting cabbage on purpose. Yeah,
Sounds great.
it's awesome. Sorry, that's probably me. Yeah, not a fan of that one. Tastes too much like a vegetable.
That was terrible.
So I have a kimchi story, if you're interested.
Tell me your kimchi story.
So, where I went to seminary, we had a lot of students from South Korea. And, kimchi is a Korean dish. And so a lot of students would make like homemade kimchi. Like they would fill up the bathtub in the dorms, or not in the dorms, but in married housing, they'd fill up the bathtubs and put the cabbage in there and it would ferment and then they'd bottle it, this kind of stuff. So there was a dorm room in Fort Worth Hall, which is so guys, if you're in the dorms here at HLG, it could be worse. There's a dorm room in Fort Worth Hall at Southwestern, and it was no one was allowed in there. No one could stay in there. No one was even allowed in the room because one of our international students had decided to jar some kimchi to ferment and had stuck it like in the kind of rafters above the ceiling tiles and then forgot about it. And then, went home. It had been up there for a year or two. No one really knows how long. So somebody else moves in, and they hit the ceiling tile that it was sitting on, and it drops and it falls through and it goes everywhere. And it's basically like, like a 2-pint stink bomb just going off. And this building was built like in 1901. And so it has these old concrete floors, and so it actually seeps into the flooring. And so nothing, they tried to clean it, tried to do everything. It smelled like kimchi literally for years. And so eventually that room was just barricaded and banned. No one was allowed to go in there. But anyway, there's my kimchi story.
I got to remember to keep you on script. That's terrible. How do you like the outdoors, Joe?
I am what one would call an avid indoorsman. So.
Aren't you from Louisiana? I thought all you guys hung out outdoors, hunting gators and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. I have eaten an alligator, but I didn't shoot it nor hunt it. So yeah, no, I don't like. The further I get away from an air conditioner, kind of the worse it gets.
You have any good hunting stories?
Well, I've only got one because I've only been hunting once because my dad would never take me back.
Tell us about that, Joe.
So my dad is, big, hunted a lot, mostly a fisherman, but hunted as well. And so, every dad's dream that's a hunter, he wants to take his boy hunting. And I'm the oldest, me and my younger brother. And so he takes me hunting, first time that I remember at least. And, he's got a deer stand set up. It's, everything's prepared for it. Literally all I have to do is pick the gun up and pull the trigger. That's all that has to happen here, So he gets me set up in the stand, and he goes elsewhere to find his spot. And so I'm sitting there in the stand. I'm bored out of my gourd. I'm cold. I just want to sit here and read a book. I'm not allowed to read a book because he's afraid the crackling pages will scare the deer away. This is pre-Kindle days and the long, long ago. And so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear some rustling over here in the trees to my right. I was like, oh, here it is. If I shoot this thing, I can go home. And better yet, in a month, there'll be deer sausage. And so here's some rustling, so I pick up the gun and I shoulder it and, get ready, look through the scope, and I can see some, trees moving, this kind of, and I see something moving through the woods. I see some horns. I'm like, oh, here it is, time to go. And thankfully, I thought, I'm looking through the scope, obviously you don't have a full field of vision. Looking through the scope, it's like, well, something doesn't look right. It wasn't quite that itchy, And so I look up, and it finally comes out, and I almost pulled the trigger, but I looked up, and what comes out of the bushes is a giant steer, like a cow. Big, like Texas steer, the big horns, the whole 9 yards. So, that, number one, someone probably would have been angry if I would have shot this particular bull. And now we would have eaten off of it pretty well, because my dad wasn't going to let it go to waste. But fortunately, I did not shoot it. But that's the first and the last time.
You weren't invited back?
Was not invited back. So after almost shooting that deer. So, yeah.
So, as somebody who likes to be in air conditioning, what's your summer wardrobe consist of?
Well, it depends on who picks the clothes, right? Okay. So when I get to wear what I want to wear, I love a good pair of jean shorts. So
let's call them by their right name, Joe.
Well, see, Rebecca calls them jorts, but I'm pretty sure that's lady jean shorts. Nope. When men wear them and they have a hammer loop on them, they're jean shorts. It's different. See, God makes men and women different, and so different classifications.
He doesn't make jean shorts for men.
I like a good pair. They're stretchy in the right ways, and so it's good. They're comfy.
I got to get better questions, man. This is just getting out of control. So you like jorts?
I do. I enjoy jean shorts.
Or just jorts?
Well, I like cargo shorts too because I like pockets and things. But
what does a man need to have all those pockets?
Well, it's not what you. It's not
you don't
necessarily.
Go outside and hunt.
It's just in case. But what if you do need pockets and you run out, and you could equally distribute, your headphones and your wallet and your keys, so not everything's all bunched in a pocket. It's very precise. You got to think through these things, Wingo.
All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Jorts. I cannot believe you wear jorts.
They're jean shorts.
They're
when they have a hammer loop,
jorts.
they're jean shorts.
Jorts.
Very
You sure you're
massive.
not from Florida? Because that's pretty much a Florida thing, jorts. All right, our next one is Hot Ones Barbacoa. Los Calientes. Heat level 4 out of 10. So
Okay.
it's double this one, which I'm still struggling from 20 minutes ago.
Sure.
So Joe?
Now see, this actually looks like hot sauce because I can see the peppers and this kind of stuff. Though my wing looks like it was like in a tragic accident. Wait, is this 4? I was about to eat 3 again. There we go.
Don't cheat.
I'm trying not to.
Not bad.
I'm gonna need you to give me a real napkin.
These are mine, Joe.
I can't handle these paper things.
What do you think about that one?
That was like the least spiciest of these.
Yeah, it's not as spicy. I mean, Todd's been in charge of these. I'm not sure.
Well,
who knows?
It's hard to find
Who
good
knows
help
what
these
he
days.
did? Amen. Amen.
Right, Kyler?
There you go. All right, Joe, we kind of already touched on this a little bit.
Okay.
I'm all choked up. How long have you been married again?
22.
Don't look to her for help, Joe. Don't look to her for help.
22 years? Almost 23. It'd be December 21st is our anniversary.
What year?
2001. Fairly
Are you
certain.
asking me? I
I'm
wasn't there, Joe.
I'm fairly certain it's 2001.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
There we go. Well done. Tell me your love story. How did you two meet?
Yeah, so Rebecca and I had mutual friends, and we met in college. We were both part of the Baptist Student Union there on campus at the University of Louisiana, Lafayette, and we're both part of the student union, and we had some mutual friends, and we would kind of get together to hang out at McDonald's before class. And over time, we would do that like once or twice a week. And over time, our mutual friends stopped going, but we kept, meeting at McDonald's for breakfast. And so that turned into a friendship, and eventually started dating. One of the best things for our dating life is I disappeared for about 4 months, and that actually worked out pretty well. And
she just, one day you were just gone?
yeah, just figured out. So we started, so I'm gonna get the timeline wrong here, so I don't even want to say it out loud. But in the spring, we started dating, and then in the summer, I went on summer missions to New England through the North American Mission Board. So I was in New England for like 3 months, but we'd only been dating for like a month and a half. And so it was just enough to get her interested, and then like a man of mystery, just disappear into the shadows. It's
maybe you're a spy.
you never know.
Okay. Why don't you share with these people how you ask her out?
So here's the problem. So Rebecca was was first dating relationship ever, and that's not because I was like this pious holy person. It's because I couldn't get a date for the life of me, not surprisingly. And so first time ever, so I literally had no idea what I was doing. Like, I've seen some stuff on TV, but I'm sure I was like, oh, that's TV, that's not how actual humans work. And so I didn't know what I was doing, so I managed to get a phone number. I managed to get her phone number from a friend, and I called her. She answers, and I had no idea what to say, because this is literally the most awkward conversation I've ever had at this point. At this point, I've had other ones, but at this point, the most awkward. And so, if I remember right, the first thing out of my mouth was, "Oh, hi, I'm just checking to make sure that I wrote this number down correctly." Smooth like butter. And so,
Did you just hang up after that?
almost. And so, I was able to recover. I was able to segue, and hey, how's it going? That kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of where that started.
That she could see
Listen,
through the door.
she's long suffering in that way.
So you called, made sure the number's right, hung up on her.
I didn't hang up. I don't remember hanging up. Did I hang up?
Oh,
did I
you
really?
did.
Oh. Am I merging two conversations in my head?
no.
Okay, apparently I did hang up now.
So you,
okay.
I just want to make sure
I just want to make sure I got this number
You
right.
called
Okay, but
your
I didn't just
future
hang
wife.
up though. I probably said, okay, bye. Yeah. So
That's very different.
See,
That's my bad, Joe. That's on me.
Listen again.
So
No,
you
there's
called
no
her-
training wheels for these things. You know.
So you called her.
I
I just
did.
want to make sure I have the number right. Okay, bye.
Yes, that's exactly what I did in my infinite wisdom. I did want to make sure that the number was right.
And
like
you
that was
still
a
went
true
out with
story.
her? So how do you get from that point to where she actually goes out?
I'm pretty
you
awesome.
called back?
I mean, oh, you mean technically? Yeah, I did eventually. Yeah, called back and. Yeah.
was
I'm
this-
not a phone person. That's the other thing too. Like I don't really like talking on the phone.
You sound like a
It's-
natural.
it's-
I don't
well,
know. I mean,
My phone skills need some work.
do you remember how he asked you out eventually?
I think it just gradually happened as we met at McDonald's.
So the phone thing, you realize that was not your.
That was not. I have to go back to my natural habitat, McDonald's. You know,
The Lord had to work for you right there, my friend. I don't.
you
Wow.
are not wrong.
That is amazing.
You are not
I
wrong.
cannot believe you literally called. I have the right number and hung up the phone. That just,
It sounded like a good idea at the
I'll be honest
time.
with you, that's better than what I had imagined when this question was on my phone. That is unbelievable. And how long have you been married, Joe?
20, almost 23 years.
There we go. December
I remember it. 21st.
2000.
One.
There we go.
We got it.
Hold on, he'd be ready. We have a good present coming your way.
I'll be ready for the midterm.
December. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. This is number 5.
Number 5.
Number
Okay.
5.
What do you-
So they're getting better. This is a little fat cat. Chairman Meow's Revenge. Y'all
Sounds
get that?
communist.
Fat cat Chairman Meows like a cat.
They don't.
A really fat cat.
Chairman Mao, Communist leader of China. Come on, guys. You got this.
Scorpion pepper hot sauce.
Scorpion pepper hot sauce.
It's
Okay.
perfectly good. So it's made in Florida. So Jort's capital of the world, Joe. They made this for you, my friend.
Just for me.
All right, let's do it.
I have a scorpion story.
We don't even need, I don't know where you are, Todd, but we literally don't even need questions. Just let him start telling
All
stories.
right. Scorpion pepper. I'm waiting for it to kick in,
Yeah, me too.
and it is not. And it makes me nervous.
I don't think it's going to hurt me.
This one's pretty. It doesn't even have really like a flavor. Like there's something there, but yeah,
It does not have flavor.
no,
It's not very good.
that's a pass.
All right. So this last topic was so enthralling to see how suave you are.
Okay,
Excuse me.
this is going to go sideways.
So obviously we've all heard how you're a Casanova when it came to asking her out.
Yes.
And so I can only imagine that when you asked this lady to marry you, how smooth that was. So why don't you just kind of run us through that? So gentlemen, if you're not married, I hope you brought a pen.
Yeah,
I would
take some notes.
Because this guy obviously has it going on.
I was actually wearing jean shorts at the time.
I assume you got married in them, Joe. So,
No, I got married in a Colombian drug lord tux, but that's a different story.
okay. All right. So how did you ask? I mean, just
Yeah, I mean, so we had I was working as a youth ministry intern at our church there in Lafayette, and Rebecca was working as a children's ministry intern, and there was a youth ministry event that night, and I don't even, it was, I have like Greek toga in my head, like I think it was like a toga themed thing. I
don't
know.
remember much
It's
about your
youth
relationship
ministry.
with your wife,
Listen,
do you, Joe?
before kids, it's like a blur.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
even, and through half of the kids maybe also a blur. But the ones that cried a lot, I just kind of ignored.
until Willow.
Yeah. So we're, we've been to this youth event all day. It was my birthday actually, and I was walking Rebecca. We lived in the same different apartments, but we lived in the same apartment complex. And I was walking her back to her apartment when there was a swing set right outside her apartment, and so we sat there and swang and talked for a little while. And then as she was getting ready to go up, and this is where it all starts getting fuzzy. at this point, I think that's where, I got on one knee and Rebecca, will you marry me? And, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I'm sure there were other things. Probably, if I remember right, I was probably crying and incoherent and probably couldn't even be heard, to begin with. But she did say yes, by the way. So
it was an arranged marriage.
That's right.
So you being a man from Louisiana, the South, obviously we have manners.
Yes, civilization is what I call it. Yeah.
Very, 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 very sure that you asked her father. So why don't you tell us about asking the father?
So again, it's complicated.
Seems like everything is.
Well, there's it happens. So So basically, I'm trying to just the best way to set the stage so I don't sound like a complete weirdo.
Too late for that, buddy.
Yeah, that ship's already
We're
sailed.
all on the cartoon going.
That ship's already sailed. So Rebecca and I had gone. We're living in Louisiana. We had gone out to Georgia to visit my grandparents, and taken to Florida or the Panhandle, Florida, and then up into Georgia to visit grandparents. And while we were at my granddaddy and grandmother's, Rebecca got in a call, and her grandmother had passed away. Her dad's mom. Her grandmother passed away. Her grandmother lived down near Tampa, Florida. So my granddaddy has a pilot's license, like a private one, and he shared an airplane with a couple guys, and so he offered to fly us down to Tampa so we wouldn't have to drive all the way down there. So we got in his little Cessna, which is basically like, if you could imagine like a Coke can with wings that somebody strapped a propeller to, that's basically what we did. And so we got in the airplane. My granddaddy flew us down to Tampa to go to the funeral. So it's the day after the funeral. It's either the day of or the day after the funeral, but it's after the funeral, regardless. Rebecca's dad and mom and siblings, we all went to eat after the funeral. We went to Cracker Barrel, where all good things happen, right? Yeah. Right? All good things happen at Cracker Barrel. Amen? So we go to Cracker Barrel. And so we're at, if you've been in a Cracker Barrel, they're all exactly the same. We're at one of the giant round tables, like right when you walk in the door, And so we're sitting there, and all everybody but me and Willard, Rebecca's dad, everybody but me and Willard get up, and they go shopping in the garage sale, attached to the Cracker Barrel. And so I'm sitting there, and again, guys, I'm like 19 at this point. I literally know nothing. And so I'm sitting there, and I have in my head, well, I know I bought a ring. I'm going to propose to Rebecca. I've been trying to figure out a time to ask Rebecca's dad. He works all the time, very, very busy, lives about an hour away. This is a perfect opportunity. Like he's the fact that he just buried his mom was not even in my brain at this moment. I'm just thinking, I just had biscuits and eggs. Here's Rebecca's dad. Let's have this conversation. And so sitting there at the table, and Willard's there, and I say, so, Mr. Willard, I just want to, see what you thought about. And I'm stumbling and mumbling just like now. If you think it would be okay for me to, marry your daughter, and he just kind of looks at me like I just said, 2 + 2 = a basket of oranges, and he says, you mean like soon? And well, probably a few months, these kind of things. Well, yeah, we talked for a little while, and so it didn't really occur to me. Honestly, it didn't even occur to me until I told Rebecca what I did and when I did it, and she was like, "You asked my dad when? Right after the funeral?" It's like, oh yeah, that was kind of odd. So yeah, so there you go. That's how that happened.
So seriously, obviously you are a true master at your craft. What do you have for the kids out? The guys. What advice would you give to the gentlemen out here as someone who has perfected the art of romance? What would you say to them?
Listen,
I would just give one tip.
I would just say get married early, but not often. I feel like that's.
I don't even know. Give me one Shakespeare pickup line.
One Shakespeare. I do have some Shakespeare pickup lines.
Give me the best one.
The best one is, it comes from Midsummer Night's Dream. and I used it on Rebecca. She was in the middle of teaching a class, but I didn't care.
Ask her dad at a funeral.
Yeah, exactly. I have zero situational awareness, obviously. So I was principal of the school, teaching across the hall. She was teaching on the other side of the hall, and so she's in the middle of teaching. I just finished teaching Midsummer's Night's Dream. It's like, ooh, this is a good one. I'm gonna have to use this on Rebecca. Might as well do it now because I'll forget later. So I walk over. She's in the middle of teaching about something stupid like verbs, and I stick my head in and I said, Miss Rebecca, you have a very pleasing shape. Which that's the pickup line from Shakespeare. And she got red and giggled and tee-heed, and everybody, all the kids were like, but they were kind of used to me doing stuff like that by that point.
You have a very pleasant shape.
You have a very pleasant shape. That's right.
Tara, be ready.
Shakespeare, guys. Shakespeare pickup lines are the best.
All right, we're going to do number 6.
Okay.
This is Ilmig. I don't know.
Wait, it's what?
Ilmig.
Like a Russian fighter?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's got habanero, sherry, and...
Is that going to violate our faculty contract?
Dr. Matt's going to get a ruling? I don't know.
It's boiled, right? I mean, when you make hot sauce, you boil it. It's cooked out. Yeah.
You just want the bottle?
Sure.
All right. So this is a 6 out of 10 on the heat.
Okay.
Which fits because it's number 6.
That's number 6.
The math checks out.
There you go.
All right, we're about to get
Where's
into
it from?
some
Do we know
text.
where it's from? Listen, I like to know where it's sourced. Is it locally sourced? Did the peppers have names?
Sheridan, Wyoming.
Yeah,
they're known up there for the...
Well known for your hot sauce in Wyoming, yeah.
Yes. All right, Joe.
All right. I can smell the habanero before I taste it.
Yep.
No, this is the first one that's kind of hot.
I don't know. Whew.
That's pretty good. That's got some heat to it.
Just a little bit.
That's the downside of habanero. A lot of people like to cook with habanero, but
A lot of people, Joe.
well, I mean, not here, but other places.
Louisiana.
Sure, yeah, a lot of people cook with habanero, but usually all you taste is habanero. It's like, it overtakes everything. Yep, that one's not too bad.
Do you feel that one?
Well, yeah, it's hot.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, I'll take a sip just to make you feel better.
Gosh. Don't give me a timeout. Todd, go to commercial break. Go to commercial break.
Hey, Joe, you got any questions for him?
Say again. Well, I was going to wait, but I think this probably is a good time. I do have some questions for you.
That's not how the show works.
Well, you're in recovery mode, right? So I should be able to ask at least a few questions. Don't you think? Okay.
Is Dr. Matt's in here?
Does this violate the terms of service?
I can't answer any questions.
I really going to enjoy this one because I probably have similar feelings. So,
What is going on? Let's not have it.
so let me ask you. So we talked about my favorite movie, right? So what's your favorite movie?
Oh, wow. My favorite movie?
Well, let me narrow it down. What's your favorite science fiction movie?
Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back. Okay. You could probably argue that's a little more fantasy than science fiction, but that's fine. So, but beyond, other than Empire Strikes Back, like, if there's a movie where they like check out a black hole, something like that. There's a little movie called Event Horizon.
First of all, somebody's been talking to my wife.
What are your feelings about that?
I hate that movie. All right. I don't know why I'm being interviewed. I'll answer just one question. So, Event Horizon. Anybody seen Event Horizon?
I have.
It's a horror movie. It's a terrible movie. Don't ever watch it. My wife and I were in college.
Isn't the guy from Jurassic Park in that one?
He is in that movie.
Yeah.
It's actually like the spaceship is designed like a cathedral except instead of stone, it's awful. I can handle horror movies. That movie scared me to death. I mean, straight up closing my eyes, it was awful. So me being the gentleman I am, after hearing you tell stories, I feel a little better about myself. But
Yeah.
after the movie, Tara and I go out. We probably got something to eat or something afterwards. I take her back to her apartment and open the door. And we're going to go in, watch TV or something, and lights were out. Me being the gentleman I was, I wouldn't go in the apartment. I was too scared to go in the apartment. I made my girlfriend at the time go in and turn on every light in the apartment.
Yeah. Well done.
Because I was scared to death, man. And if Event Horizon comes on today, I will break the remote trying to change the channel. I don't know what it is about that movie. It scares me.
I will tell you, I've seen that movie.
It scares me to death.
And, you know, every parent always makes bad life choices when it comes to raising their kids. I've made a few. One of my parents' bad life choices was I watched an inordinate amount of horror movies growing up. So I was used to them. And Event Horizon's legitimately the scariest movie I think I've ever seen. Yeah, it's rough. It is.
Thank you, Joe. I feel better.
It is. Yeah. All right, so.
Whoa, I'm good.
All right, I'll tell you what. Well, let me do one more, and then we'll move
What are
forward.
we doing?
Okay. So we talked about my very obvious, very clear kind of romantic skills, right? So I'm a little curious about yours. So I'm assuming at some point you told your wife that you loved her, right? So tell us about like the first time that you told her that you loved her.
Thanks, T. So by the time I told my wife I loved her, I probably told 23 other girls that I loved them.
Sure.
True story. I didn't mean it any of those other times. And so I started dating Tara. I mean, I tried to play it cool. My friends will tell you I fell, like quick. I mean, it was kind of embarrassing, quite honestly, looking back. Tara would probably tell you she was embarrassed for me. And so I remember, I'm from a small town. I'd gone back home, visit my family, and I was in the car with my mom. And we were talking about Tara, and I was like, Mom, I really love her. This is different, talking about it. And listen, I was deeply, madly in love. So for the first time, I was going to say it and mean it. So we go on a date. I'm scared to death. We go, I'm taking her to her apartment, drop her off. We're sitting in the car, and obviously we're talking, and I drop the, Tara, I love you.
Uh-huh.
And she just looks at me and is like, yep. Yep. And
I mean, that's close enough, right?
proceeds to tell me bye, gets out of the truck, goes to her apartment.
Uh-huh.
Pearl Jam, any Pearl Jam fans here in the building? All right. Pearl Jam, love Pearl Jam, 90s rock alternative's the greatest music of all time. I'll argue with anybody.
True story.
If you've ever heard the song Black by Pearl Jam, I rode back roads listening to Black and cried for 2 hours.
Not the first person to ever do that.
My heart was broken, man. Broken. Listen, I'm surprised I didn't just drop like a raisin. I bawled. Just repeat Black, repeat. It was terrible. It was terrible. Now, she did eventually tell me she loved me later on.
Well, that's good.
3 weeks, okay.
Oh,
so
3
we don't
weeks
need
later.
details.
I was thinking
the
like
next day,
year
but
4
we had
of
to
marriage
chime
or
in over
something.
there.
Yeah.
To her, it was a little more sacred. She had never told anybody, and so it meant a little more. And she probably was second guessing her choices in life, ending up with me as well. So a lot went into that. So shout out to Tara for telling stories on me. We will discuss later this evening. That's not how this show works. All right, let's get back on track, Joe.
Okay, all
Let's get
right.
a sheet of paper down.
All right.
Better not be anything else on
There
that sheet of paper.
might be some more, but we'll save it.
All right, Joe, we see lots of videos these days. Social media. Luckily, it wasn't around when we were. What?
Oh, wing, yeah.
Did we not we just did the wing.
But
We did the wing.
I interrupt. Yeah, we ate
Joe
and I
just broke
interrupted.
protocol, went rogue, and now nobody knows what's going on, Todd. All right, as I was saying,
Sorry,
mean-
I threw off the Emperor's Groove.
really, thank you. With social media, we see all these videos of, like people videoing people when they come off anesthesia and stuff like that. And they say and do crazy things, Joe. How are you whenever you're under anesthesia?
So I don't really go to the hospital that much.
great, man.
But when I do, it usually doesn't go well.
Okay.
And it's mostly, to answer your question, I don't respond well to anesthesia.
Tell us more.
Well, so there's two times, I'm trying to think of which is the least embarrassing of the two that Rebecca probably told
Go and
you.
give us both.
So one time, so right before we got married, I was still on my parents' insurance, and so like anything medical that had to be done, actually both of these are at the same time. But so I had my wisdom teeth removed, and so I'm a big baby, so they had to put me under, or at least gas me up to have my wisdom teeth removed. And my dad said that while I was out having the wisdom teeth removed, that they called him to have him come in because I was flailing my arms around so much. They had they're not nurses in the dentist office, like dental assistants? Like 2 dental assistants were in there with the dentist. The 2 dental assistants were trying to keep my arms down, and I was lifting them up off the ground, moving my arms down. So my dad had to come in and basically lay across me just to keep my arms down. And so that was just gas. That wasn't like full-blown anesthesia. I had another procedure to have my nose fixed. Plastic surgery was great. No. I have a deviated septum repair before we got married while I was still on my parents' insurance. And so that one they put me all the way under. And this is what I'm told. I don't remember any of this, by the way. But what I am told is that as I'm coming to, my parents are there, Rebecca was at work, and as I'm coming to, I'm apparently under the impression that Rebecca is dead. And so, we're engaged, I like her a little bit, and under the impression that she's dead. And I just start wailing, like crying, wailing, inconsolable. I won't move, I won't do anything. My parents are trying to say, she's fine, da, 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 da. And so my dad has to call Rebecca at work and say, we need you to come to, my dad's the opposite of me. He, doesn't always say everything. I say too much. Sometimes he doesn't say enough. And I think my dad said something like, we need you to come now. Joe just woke up from the surgery and he's not doing great. We need you to get here now. And so, that leaves one of the person like, I'm bleeding everywhere or something. So Rebecca leaves work. She gets there. And so I'm being wheeled out in a wheelchair, still sobbing, by the way, still bawling. I think somebody had given me a teddy bear at some point. I don't know. So I'm being wheeled out of, and this is like what do you call it when you just go in for the day? Outpatient, thank you. Again, I don't do doctors. So it's just like outpatient. This isn't just like a serious hospital. I'm being wheeled out of the outpatient. Like some guy just, had like a broken arm repaired and he's fine, and I'm bawling because I had cartilage fixed in my nose. And sobbing, bawling everywhere, screaming at the top of my lungs. And Rebecca walks in. And again, this is what I'm told. I'm not sure if I believe it. Apparently, I just stopped crying. And I just look at her and I'm like, you're alive! And then I start crying again. So a day and a half later, when I wake up, my parents and Rebecca tell me what I did, and they laughed at me quite a bit. And then Rebecca shared that story quite a lot. And so,
As you should.
As I should. So yeah, the short version of that is that I don't really do anesthesia well. So we learned, so ever since then, anytime I go under, we make sure that Rebecca is there when I wake up. And we tell the doctors, okay, look, we know that there's procedure and different things, but you want her to be there when I wake up because it's going to go sideways quick. So anyway, yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe.
Yeah. I'm just the heat from that last one is just now starting to, that one lingered for quite a bit. I'm impressed.
Nothing.
Well, that's
nothing.
good.
I'm a machine. All right, number 7.
Number
Joe.
7. So this is one of the secret ones. No, there's a thing. Okay.
That means number 8's coming up, which is the worst. This is red flag hot sauce, black-eyed Susan. Pennsylvania.
Quakers. So it's like Quaker Oats, but hot sauce. Okay. Got it.
All right. Todd, is there anything special we're supposed to do? Were you supposed to pop the top off here? All right, Joe, let's see what.
All right, let's see what it is.
What is that? Is that a mushroom?
That looks like a meatball.
We're about to eat coated mushrooms?
I'm a little concerned.
My people hate me.
Oh, it's a mushroom. Okay, I thought it was a meatball.
Can you not hear my mic?
I don't-
what?
I don't think I have a mushroom story.
Oh my gosh. There's no way just to eat a little bit of this thing, man.
So you're gonna pop the whole thing in, right?
I guess.
That sounds like an unwise decision. That tastes pretty gross. It's not really hot though.
Not at all.
It's just nasty.
You're not gonna eat both?
No. Yeah, it was under the cup for a
Not
reason.
at all. God, that's terrible.
Yeah, it tastes bad. It's not hot. It just tastes bad.
That's not.
So what
I beg to differ.
is number 7 on there?
What?
Is the sauce? Is it in the row here? I'm curious what's in it that makes it taste so bad. Thank you.
God, that's so bad.
I need my glasses, Rebecca. Now, see, this is sketch because they don't even put anything on here. The ingredients. Oh, here we go.
You don't think that's hot?
Okay, here's your problem. The number 1 ingredient is muscadine grape juice. There's your problem.
It's killing me.
Compared to the last one, that one wasn't even hot.
Man. Okay. All right. Well, I'm over here trying to pull myself
Try
together.
not to die. You want me to ask you another question?
No. Can you summarize the history of the fall of the Roman Empire in one sentence and not a run-on?
The history of the fall of the Roman Empire in one sentence. I don't think I've ever described anything in one sentence ever before.
That's what I read, Joe.
Does that taste better than that one? It was bad.
That's your. If a kid put that on a test, is that gonna?
Well, it depends on how I ask the question. If I asked it that vaguely,
It was bad.
it was bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that on the test.
Yeah, I mean, well, I do, like, pretty much every history class I teach, I usually start with the fall of the Roman Empire, because that's really where history begins. So everything else is just kind of prologue. But, you know,
You have any hot takes on the early church history?
several.
Give us a couple.
So on early church, I feel like you're fishing for something specific.
not.
You're not?
I just get the questions. I have no background. I don't know.
I'm just eating this, get the taste out of my mouth.
I'm not trying to stump you, Joe.
I know. Well, I mean, I could talk about it a lot, but I don't know of any like hot takes.
Okay. All right.
Am I missing something, Todd?
Student question.
Oh, a student question. Okay. Well, then I'm assuming there's like a trap in all of these questions. So that was you know.
Joe, thought you knew me better than that. I mean, everybody that knows me talks about how kind and sweet I am. I
Right.
would never try to trap anyone in anything.
Well, that's fair. I guess if I had to say one, see, even if I give a hot take, no, you know, Dr. Maps will laugh. That might be it. But so one hot take, I guess, would be.
If it's that hard, we can just skip the
Yeah,
question.
I'm just
Joe.
trying to think I'm trying to know my audience. I'm trying to, you know, not.
I don't want you to put them to sleep.
Well, what I don't want to do is spoil anything, because I'm teaching church history in the spring, and
That's
so
a
I'm
brilliant
trying to
question.
save.
Whoever did that, that is a brilliant question.
I'm trying to save the good stuff for
That
the
is
spring.
really good. All right, Joe.
I'm also looking for a trap, but
I am very sad to say we're on number 8.
we are number. So is number 8 the bomb?
Number 8 is the bomb.
Okay.
This is the worst stuff ever made by man. It tastes worse than battery acid. It is just meant to hurt you. And I have no idea what's under this cup, but it ain't gonna be good. So, oh man, I'm not looking forward to this.
So there are different kinds of the bomb. There's just the one.
This is the bomb evolution. This is the hotter version.
It's the hotter version.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right. So this should be interesting.
Made in Kansas City.
Well, it has to be good, right?
Oh man, I am not looking forward to this at all. All right, let's see what's under the cup, Joe.
All right. You ready?
I don't like where this is going. What the heck is that?
a bite and see.
That's cauliflower. You are mean.
Cauliflower? What's a cauliflower?
Sorry.
Like a
cauliflower.
Like a dog flower? I mean, what?
Ugh, I don't even want to touch it.
Why'd you put so much sauce on it, man? I mean,
I can't imagine a
come
worse thing.
on, man.
I need gloves.
We do need gloves.
Dude, I don't remember signing a waiver for this. I'm not eating this entire thing. That's definitely not happening. I'll take the sauce over the cauliflower any day.
I'd rather have a cauliflower.
That is nasty.
Oh my gosh. I got to renegotiate my contract.
Oh, that was gross. So I really thought the bottom would be hotter. Like that one's not nearly as hot as number 6. The habanero one. That's just gross. The cauliflower, yeah.
I can't.
It's like eating dirt.
Need to go to commercial break.
All right, so who likes the cauliflower pizza crust? Anybody? I mean, I know people eat it, but do you actually like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, so gross. Oh, it's unnatural. It's against the natural order.
How do you not think that's hot?
It's not really. I mean, like, I still feel the heat from number 6. Like, the habanero one was hot. That one's not hot. It's just nasty because of the cauliflower. I'm trying to cleanse my palate. We eat some fried plantains. You ever have that as like a palate cleanser, like at a steak place? No?
I have not. All right, Joe.
All right.
We'll try to get through this. How does a Louisiana redneck and a Mississippi redneck compare?
Louisiana redneck and a Mississippi redneck compare. Well, I would think that the Louisiana redneck has to deal with a significant more variety of wildlife. I would think that would be one difference between the two.
I mean, you've lived in both places.
I've not lived in Mississippi.
Louisiana. Did I say Mississippi?
You said Mississippi.
I
You
can't
said
even
how
get
does a
my
Louisiana?
mouth. Missouri redneck.
Oh, Missouri. Oh.
I apologize. I'm in pain.
Yeah, so, I mean, in Louisiana, you know, I mean, we have a lot of agriculture, we have a lot of farming in Louisiana, but it's, you know, normal things like rice and crawfish and sugar cane and things like that, you know, not corn, and that's it. So that's one difference, like the things, you know, like country stuff is a little different. It's a little harder to go mudding in the swamps than it is probably in, you know, the hills and in some guy's cornfield.
Which one do you think wears more jorts?
Probably the Louisiana guy, I'm going to say, especially if they're cutoffs. That's a
think-
whole other classification of jean shorts, is cutoffs.
Do you think a Louisiana redneck or Missouri redneck, let's say they were driving down the byways, do you think they would ever have to have their car towed because it ran out of gas?
No, that would never happen. That's impossible.
That happened to you?
No, well, you know, technically maybe, but I thought there were other problems, I just couldn't find them. That was just the first and the most obvious problem.
So what happened?
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's complicated. So again, I'm an avid indoorsman, as previously has been mentioned. And one of the things, the problem with cars is never really had garages And so I never really learned how to do anything with vehicles because, again, it's outside. And so I don't know anything about cars. So basically, I was driving along, and all of a sudden, my car just stops. It just quits working. And couldn't figure out how to start it. Couldn't get it going. I thought, well, there's some kind of engine problem. I don't know, maybe it's the alternator or the spark plugs, because those are the only two things I knew the names for. And so I called a buddy of mine and said, hey, I broke it down, I need you to come help. So he comes, he looks around, and he couldn't figure out what was going on with it. So we got the straps that you usually use to tie down, like stuff in the back of your truck. We used one of those and hooked it to the back of his car and hooked it to the front of my car, and he, creatively towed me out to a mechanic. And left it with the guy. Said, oh, yeah, I'll figure it out. Next day he called me and said, hey, I figured out what your problem is. I said, okay, well, what is it? Is something broken? He said, no, I just needed gas.
You're a true man's man, Joe.
Now, in my defense, I really don't think that the gauge was like all the way empty. Like it was still kind of hanging above the E a little bit. And
So that 626 or?
No, this was whatever the car after that one was. I can't remember the name of it right now. But yeah, no, it was theoretically it was out of gas. I'm still not convinced that was the actual problem. But
Okay.
but yes, I did run out of gas and had the car towed, and everybody got a good laugh out of it.
All right, Joe. I can feel my mouth a little bit now.
Okay.
I can't believe you don't think that one's hot, man. I am dying.
It really wasn't. It just tasted nasty, and it was cauliflower.
All right,
You're mean, by the way, for doing that.
Number 9.
Oh,
Peppers Up hot sauce. Blackberry and blueberry Apollo pepper
oh,
sauce.
that sounds good.
It's 10 out of 10 on the heat meter.
Okay. Sounds like a cobbler. Should be good.
Man, I am dying.
This one's like extra juicy.
I forget we got another cup. What is this? What's this, Todd? What is it?
It's very squishy, whatever it is.
Zucchini?
Gosh, Todd, what are you doing to me? I haven't eaten this many vegetables in like months. Gosh. You need to pay him less.
After this, I will. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
All right,
We're
ready?
on the website.
Was it blueberry and something?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's nasty.
Not as bad as the last one.
Ooh, that. Like, who eats zucchini?
Fried zucchini is pretty good. Now, not when it's doused in 10 out of 10 pepper sauce. Fried zucchini is actually pretty good, Joe.
I have to drown out the zucchini flavor. The hot sauce, it tastes about as hot as the bomb was.
Oh, I don't think it's as close. I don't think it's as close. All right, Joe. Do you have any talents that you'd like to share to the fine people out here in the audience?
Well, this is definitely a trap. Any talents?
Yeah. You like to sing?
Not really. I do sing, mostly to annoy Rebecca, and to annoy my kids or embarrass my kids. But yeah, I do have all the lyrics of. I mean, I was a junior high boy in the '90s, and so I have all the lyrics of Coolio's "Gangster's Paradise" memorized.
Respect.
Yeah, this is not karaoke night. The one time I've done karaoke, I did Devil Went Down to Georgia, Charlie Daniels. That's actually relatively easy. That's a pretty easy one. One time for a Spanish project in school, I translated a Garth Brooks song into Spanish, Friends in Low Places. And so I've got that one, not in Spanish, but because my Spanish is pretty bad.
What about any Little Mermaid songs?
Yeah, I know basically all of them. Yeah, because I mean, I have girls, right?
I mean, what, part of your world, is that a song?
Yeah, I do know that one.
Could you just give us like a little?
No,
just
that's not gonna happen.
Just a little bit? So your talent singing, but you won't share it with the people?
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm a girl? A girl who has everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got oozits and whatsits galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the people are. And now I forgot the rest.
That was well done, Joe. That was well done.
I tried.
That was
I
well
tried.
done. Well done.
There was a season, I don't remember, I think it might have been Catherine, I can't remember which kid, but Rebecca and I would duet that song like almost every night to one of our kids. So anyway, yeah, that's why I know that one. It's not because I watched The Little Mermaid regularly.
Sure.
But
Let's go with that.
yeah, we'll go with that one.
that story. All right, everyone. We've come to our final wing, the last one. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, that's right.
All right. There we go. I'm just excited that this is a chicken wing, because the last two, the worst part or the last three, the worst part has been that it's not been a chicken wing.
Agree to disagree. Dr. Turner, would you like to come up here with us? And you sure? All right.
You got this.
Just checking on you, just making sure you don't want you to feel left out. All right, so the last hot sauce of the evening is the Last Dab Experience. It used to tell heat levels 11 out of 10. It's like almost 3 million, whatever, Scoville, yeah, whatever that is.
Schofield Study Bible.
It's really just meant to hurt you as well.
Okay.
So, and Joe,
This is it right here?
yep, as you're supposed to do the last dab. So
don't know what that
you don't
means.
have to add any extra to it, but it's highly recommended.
Yeah, I feel like Todd's put enough on there
Okay.
for.
Let the record show that Tad Wingo is going to add to his, and Joe's scared.
Well, I didn't know you were
No,
going to add
no,
yours.
Joe, you already backed out.
I mean, I'll put some on
No,
mine.
too late,
That's
Joe.
dirty.
Too late. I just showed you up.
All right, all right.
Showed you up.
Listen, your house, your rules. I mean,
No, I'm just kidding, man. Fired out.
all right, here we go.
In that video, you drank some. Why don't you just go ahead and give a big gulp of
No,
that?
I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I
What
don't.
you did in that video,
It doesn't smell that bad.
it's not. I'd load that baby up. Oh, no, keep going.
I haven't eaten it yet.
You're going to eat it. Now, I don't know what's going to happen afterwards, but you're going to eat it. All right, Joe.
All right, you ready?
Down the hatch, my friend.
Slimy. It's not bad.
Nothing.
I mean, it's warm.
I don't understand you.
You're not the first person that's told me that.
Gosh. All right.
Now, see, it does get warmer towards the end.
I just can't feel my throat. I mean, I can feel it. I don't even know. I don't know what to say. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Whew.
Yeah, so that one gets hot. It doesn't get hot as quick as number 6 did. I still think it's not as hot as the habanero one. The 6th one was feels like it was the hottest.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't feel that one either, Joe.
So back home, there was this po' boy shop that they had a sandwich called a hot hot. It was literally just what it was called. And it was fried chicken on a sandwich with a hot sauce on it. And I took a bite of that stuff the first time I had it. It had pepper jack cheese on it and like a spicy mayo on it, in addition to the hot sauce. Now it's kicking in. Now that thing was so hot that literally my face went numb. Like, I couldn't feel anything. Oh, that one's hot. Now it's kicking in. It's like a delayed reaction. That was good.
Nope. Man, that's so hot. Oh.
Whew. Yep. That was good.
All right, Joe. You like playing games?
At times,
Do any of those games include you playing with dolls?
well, first of all, they're not dolls. They're collectible wargaming miniatures. But in the last couple of years, I've gotten into Warhammer 40,000.
What is that?
So it's basically you buy these little army units, and you make an army, and then you roll dice and you fight them against somebody else. I think I got more water on my shirt than in my mouth. So yeah. So I collect plastic space marines and fight them against aliens and that kind of stuff.
By yourself?
Well, no, JD helps.
Okay.
It's for the children, you know. It's for the children. Now, what's that?
Another? Extra. Hot sauce. All right. Wow.
It's hard to drink out of that mason jar.
All right. Well, congratulations, Joe. You conquered the spice and lived to tell the story of your adventure. Do you have any parting words for us as you're crying as we wrap this thing up?
That last one's warm. Well, I think that parting words would have to be persistence will get you a lot farther than you think, like making it to the end of this challenge. And so,
Man,
don't give up. I'm proud of you. You did a good job.
I'm dying. I am dying, man. Oh, goodness. I think you felt that last one as I see the tears rolling down your eyes.
Yeah, it kicked in. Like at first it wasn't bad. Well, it's not that bad. And then it just kind of escalates over time. Yeah, that was pretty warm.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We've done the third one of these.